Giant Hail Today 2025, Granville, QLD Maryborough and Woodgate. Large hail damaged the morning of October 2, 2025. Began like many others in the Fraser Coast region. The spring air was warm. The sky a shimmering blue, broken only by thin wisps of cirrus drifting high above. Farmers near Maryborough took the early hours to tend to their fields. Families in Granville walked children to school. And retirees at Woodgate enjoyed their seaside view, unaware that before the day ended, their world would be hammered by one of the most violent hailstorms in recent Queensland history. By early afternoon, however, the atmosphere had shifted. Dark cumulonimbus towers began climbing high over the inland ranges, pushing upward with a ferocity that only seasoned locals recognized as trouble. Weather enthusiasts who tracked radar noted a distinct hook echo forming, an ominous sign that a supercell thunderstorm was taking shape. It was like watching a bruise spread across the sky, said Maryborough resident Jeanette Collins. One moment it was light, the next this rolling wall of black was bearing down on us. The birds went quiet. The air was so still it almost hurt. Around 3:45 p.m. the first rumbles of thunder reached Granville. Rain spat against windows, carried by sudden gusts that rattled tin roofs. What came next, however, was no ordinary downpour. The hail began as small pellets, pea-sized stones clattering harmlessly against gutters and decks. Within minutes, those stones grew larger, morphing into golf ball-sized projectiles that punched dents into car hoods and cracked solar panels. By 4 p.m., Granville was in the grip of a white barrage. Tennis ball-sized hailstones smashed through skylights, tore holes in veranda roofing, and shattered windscreens with deafening cracks. "It sounded like gunfire," said Selwyn, a Granville local whose house sustained significant roof damage. "I was in the kitchen and suddenly the skylight exploded above me. Glass and ice were everywhere. I grabbed a blanket and just hid in the hallway with my dog. I've lived here 40 years and never seen anything like it." In Maryborough, just across the river, the storm hit with equal fury. Residents on the city's southern edge reported hailstones the size of cricket balls. Yards and streets were quickly coated in white, giving the surreal impression of a snowstorm. By 4:20 p.m., the storm's core surged toward the coast, slamming into Woodgate. The normally serene beach town became a war zone of flying tiles and shredded gutters. Holiday shacks along the foreshore were riddled with holes, and caravans at the local park were left looking as though they had been attacked with sledgehammers. "It came in sideways," said tourist Dave McKenzie, who had driven up from Brisbane for a week-long stay. "We thought being near the water might spare us, but the hail was just relentless. It tore the awning clean off our van. We couldn't even hear each other shout. The noise on the roof was like 1,000 drums."
I know, I'm videoing it right now.
They're not big, I've been bigger than that.